श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुं। Sairam. Welcome to the interesting exemplary characters of Mahabharata. Today we are going to read about Yudhishthira from the book written by Jayadayal Goenkaji about various characters from Mahabharata. Join me. Yudhishthira, the pious one. Like Bhishma, King Yudhishthira was also a very high soul. He was born of a fraction of Dharmaraja. He was an embodiment of Dharma. That is why people called him Dharmaraja. He was possessed of a number of divine qualities such as forbearance, steadfastness, endurance, humility, compassion, and an unshakable love, and so on. Even in his childhood, he had gained great popularity through his modesty, good conduct, and a thoughtful nature. When he was quite young, his father, Pandu, a great soul, left for his celestial abode. Since then, he would regard his senior uncle Dhritarashtra as his father and developed a great respect for him and never disobeyed him. But Dhritarashtra, being crooked by nature, began to nurse a grudge against him on account of repeatedly hearing the praises of his good qualities. His son Duryodhana hatched the desire that if somehow the Pandavas left Hastinapura for some time, he should usurp their hereditary rights in their absence and become the virtual king. He gave such a suggestion to his blind and impudent father so as to be round his view. Dhritarashtra summoned the Pandavas and proposed that they should go to Varanavata to visit the fair. Regarding it as his order, they did not raise any objection and in all submission went to the Varanavata along with their mother Kunti. In order to burn them alive, Duryodhana had got built over there a house made of luck. They, they were asked to stay in that. With the help of Uncle Vidura, they could somehow manage to escape from there to save their lives and took shelter in a forest. Subsequently, the sons of Dhritarashtra, taking them to be dead, secretly took the reins of Hastinapura in their hands. Later on the occasion of Draupadi's Swayamvara, when the secret about the Pandavas came to light, the sons of Dhritarashtra came to know that the Pandavas were still alive. Dhritarashtra sent a message through Vidura and called the Pandavas to him, and in order to settle the dispute between his son and the Pandavas, proposed them to accept half of the territory and settle themselves in Kandava Prastha. Yudhishthira, regarding it as his order, accepted this proposal as well, and he started living in Kandava Prastha along with his brothers. There he got built for himself a separate capital which was named as Indraprastha. There he performed Rajasurya Yajna, which was attended by a number of kings who offered him valuable presents and acknowledged him as their emperor. But the sons of Dhritarashtra would not let them live peacefully even there. Duryodhana grew jealous of their prosperity. Having built a large central hall, he invited the Pandavas for gambling. Though knowing that the gambling is an evil, but regarding it as the order of Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira accepted his invitation and by the deceitful tricks of Duryodhana, maternal uncle Sakuni, lost his all. The worst of all this was that the chief Queen Draupadi had to suffer great humiliation in the crowded hall. Still, the feelings of Yudhishthira for Dhritarashtra did not undergo any change. Dhritarashtra too was good enough to restore them their territory and all the money and send them back to Indraprastha. But Duryodhana could not tolerate all this. He induced Dhritarashtra and obtained his consent to call the Pandavas through a messenger, and this time the game of dice should be played once again on the condition of banishment. Yudhishthira had once seen the evil consequence of gambling and was in the known of their intentions. Still, he could not overlook the order of the senior uncle and, breaking his journey midway, returned to him. This time too, it was Yudhishthira who lost the game and consequently giving up his all. He, with his brother and chief queen Draupadi, was obliged to go to the forest on exile for 12 years and to live incognito for a year. As an obligation to fulfill the duty of obedience to father, he silently suffered all that came his way. Hail to such a devotion to one's father! King Yudhishthira was tolerant and very cautious about the discharge of his duties. He could bear to suffer any loss, but the lapse in dharma was unbearable to him. For the first time in gambling, when he lost his four brothers, his own self, and even Draupadi, and the Kauravas started humiliating Draupadi in the crowded hall, he did not utter a word, for he stood duty bound. He endured everything without a murmur. Even an ordinary person cannot bear to see his wife suffering atrocities in that way. It was out of fear for him. His brothers dared not speak a word and could not give vent to their suppressed feelings. Had they so desired, they could have stopped the inhuman atrocities but by use of force. But considering the fact that Dharmaraja had lost Draupadi at stake by his own sweet will, they remained silent. The self-same Draupadi, the casting of an evil look at whom could be ground enough for one to be deprived of one's life, was now being reduced to a pitiable condition in their very presence, and the mockery of the situation was that they could not even oppose it. Yudhishthira was aware of the fact that he was deceitfully defeated by Shakuni. Still, he did not think it proper to give up dharma at his will. Putting up with all odds, he did not give up the cause of truth and duty. A better example of one's love of dharma and tolerance can hardly be found in the world. When the Pandavas, having lost the stake for a second time, proceeded towards the forest, the inhabitants of Hastinapura felt very unhappy. They began to curse the Kauravas, and giving up their heart and home, a considerable number of citizens followed them with a view to accompany them to the forest. Even then, Dharmaraja did not utter a word against the Kauravas, and with great effort persuaded all of them to return. Still, a number of Brahmanas followed them against their wish. At that moment, Dharmaraja was a little concerned as to how he could manage to provide food to so many Brahmanas who followed him. He was a little concerned about his own troubles, but he could not bear to see others in trouble. However, he became successful in obtaining, through worship from sun god, such a pot as would make even a little food cooked it inexhaustible. During his stay in the forest, he would first feed the Brahmanas who guested and then himself took food. Even while himself experiencing the inconveniences of the forest life, he did not fail to accord due hospitality to guests. Being attracted to him by his love of dharma, which found expression in the sort of behavior, the great sages would come to stay with him during his exile and would perform yajna and other sorts of religious observances. We'll be continuing it in another video soon. Until then, take a deep breath and ponder upon the good qualities of Yudhishthira, the Dharmaraja, embodiment of Dharma. See you soon. Until then, relax. Sai Ram.